Hey guys, welcome to Top 5 Niches of the Week, the original print-on-demand niches show. It's episode 267, and we're going to be talking about the opportunities to increase your print-on-demand sales in the near future. Also, I hope you enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. I saw some people asking why sales were down recently. If you live outside the United States, you might not have known that it was, just a long weekend. Probably not too many people on Amazon buying t-shirts. So let's look at the top 10 best-selling organic niches right now. I will also hide myself because I'm blocking the 10th shirt. So we see a lot of July 4th stuff. That's going to increase in BSR, which is not what you want to see. BSR's bestseller rank, that is how well products are selling relative to each other. So when you say an increase in BSR, that means that the sales velocity is going to slow down and people are going to start purchasing other niches more frequently than they purchase the July 4th stuff. So that's a good look at, the top 10 bestsellers, just organic here. Now let's look at niche number 1. We're going to get into a little bit more predicting the coming trends. And in today's episode, I've actually got some, not every niche, but at sometimes I'm going to show you some Google Trends data to show you that we can predict the increase in search volume and essentially front run the demand and hopefully capitalize as print-on-demand sellers. All right, niche number 1. How about August being National Dog Month? Now, you don't need to wait till August for selling dog-related shirts. They sell year-round, but you might see a nice uptick in August. By the way, when I say it's National Dog Month, if you're wondering how I would sell in this niche, like the last thing I would do is make a shirt that says National Dog Month. Or if I make one, I'm probably going to cap it at just one. When I think of a niche like that, I'm thinking, okay, the dog niche as a whole. And what I like to do, and I've done videos on this, is I will go look at I'll type in some super generic keywords. Like maybe I'll type in funny dog shirt, something like that. And I'll just make a list of the best sub niches that are ranked when I type in funny dog shirt. That's an idea of how I might go about it. Of course, also you can make variations based on different dog breeds. And if you offer customization, the pet niche, including the dog niche, is one of the best opportunities out there. So niche number 1 is National Dog Month, which starts in August. So these BSRs that you see here, because I have the Merch Dominator Chrome extension, when I search Amazon, I can see the BSRs of each shirt and I can project how well they're selling. Those are going to only increase between now and all throughout the month of August. So you've got shirts that say, I left my dog to be here. This better be good. Next one, best Aussie dad ever. Next, the dog is friendly. Beware of the owner. The next one, stay positive. Next one, sorry, I can't have plans with my dog, Rusty. Here's a couple more. I heart dog training. A woman cannot survive on sewing alone. She also needs a dog. That has 14 reviews, by the way. So if you think that's a pretty specific target audience, this is why I love selling on Amazon. There's something for everybody. Like it literally says a woman, so not a man, a woman, cannot survive on sewing alone. So they have to sew, but also needs a dog. So you need to check 3 boxes for that to even be relevant to you. And there's 14 reviews indicating people are buying it. You've got just a little mini dog in the pocket. Next one, super bad burner dad. Next one, proud Bernese dog mom. All right, moving on, niche number 2. How about August also being Black Business Month? So the whole month of August, you could sell in the various sub niches related to Black Business Month. I do get a little bit worried that like a lot of these shirts say Black Wall Street. I have never uploaded a shirt to Amazon merch that says Wall Street because I'm just not sure. And the way I kind of play it is if my spidey senses are tingling, I usually just stay away because we have so many opportunities like we just talked about with National Dog Month. Like there's a million niches in the dog niche. You can skip any niche that says Wall Street if you're not sure. But also, there's other opportunities outside of Black Wall Street as well. It's Black Business Month as a whole. You can see there's shirts that just say Black Business Month. Shirts that say Black Business Month 24/7, 365. Behind me, a shirt that says Black Business Owner. Here's a couple more. Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street. 3 of the 5 again here, Black Wall Street. So that's definitely a popular one. This one right here has 230 reviews. That is pretty insane. Also, it's kind of on the grayscale, which I think is really cool. If you remember the I'm Not Old, I'm Classic muscle car shirt, also a grayscale design. So sometimes, you don't need to be vibrant, popping color. Sometimes a nice subtle shirt, nice subtle design works. It all depends on the niche, I would say. This shirt says minding my business, the 92%. minding my black owned business. So there are a couple different sub niches there. And I only screenshotted a few, guys. There's plenty of opportunities. If you want to use the Merch Dominator web app or the Chrome extension, they'll give you a bunch as well. Moving on to niche number 3. Before we get to niche number 3, I do have a free print-on-demand mini course linked in the description. Just give me your email address and I will send it to you, 1 lesson a day. And my print-on-demand Facebook group is also linked down there. Niche number 3, how about back to school? Now, what I wanted to show you guys is that back to school, look at where we are. I kind of highlighted it right here. You see this this dot right here before the big upswing. So we're at currently about 17% of the peak in demand. And in terms of timing, it should be straight vertical from here. Like in terms of search interest on Google, the most traffic website in the world for back to school, which would also imply that Amazon back to school searches are going to spike, and that whether they're looking for back to school supplies or back to school shirts, outfits, etc., now is a great time to be selling back to school. And anybody who thinks you needed to get these out there earlier, test the theory. Because I know it's popular for people to say, oh yeah, you got to be like 2, 3, 4 months early. But like if you upload a back to school shirt today to Amazon Merch or to Amazon Seller Central or to Etsy, guess what? It will be indexed and be able to be found and purchased within hours. So how early do you really need to get up there? And if you want to get up really early ahead of the spike in demand, remember, you're competing for virtually no search interest. You're competing for like, you know what I mean? Literally single digit percentage search interest when the real time where the real money's made is right here. So you can compete when there's, you know, scraps on the table, or you can compete when the table's full and everybody can eat. That's usually what I do, and hey, it works. So back to school as well. When I audit this demand using the Merch Dominator Chrome extension, now we're not talking about demand actually. We're talking about the BSR range distribution. Let me zoom in and show you guys this. This is something that I've never seen any Chrome extension do other than Merch Dominators. So they break down on page 1, and you can actually have it search multiple pages, what percentage of the products returned are like fall into what range of BSRs. Now, what you see here is one of the best looking charts you will see, because what it's saying essentially is that almost every shirt has sold. The least common outcome is that they have not sold. And it's also cool that Amazon is showing products that have not sold. Again, Amazon does give newly submitted products a chance to keep the catalog fresh and to collect data. You know, did it get clicked? Did it get purchased, etc. But this is just a really nice looking graph, a nice, pretty even distribution. The majority were in the 300,000 to 600,000 range, which by the way is still regular sales. It's just not bestseller. But again, also we're at 17% of the projectable search volume. So there's definitely time for these to spike. So I just wanted to show you guys how cool that is. And this is in real time. You can even see the timestamps, July 6th. So for back to school, here's just a few examples. We also talked about this last month. So I was thinking like a good example of how I might sell it back to school was like, I'm not going to make a shirt where my SEO says back to school as my primary, because I don't think that's the best way to go about it. I'm most likely thinking about like a mom or a dad who has a kid who's going into first grade. They might go and say first grade shirt, or cute first grade shirt, or first day of school first grade shirt. You get what I'm saying? There's plenty of examples. I didn't like memorize every sub niche for back to school. This is why I like to take notes before I go and start designing. So first grade, second grade, third grade, etc., where my design is tailored specifically to people entering that grade. There's obviously a million ways to go into the back to school niche. Ready to crush kindergarten, ready to crush first grade. Teaching as well, like teaching future leaders right here. There's a bunch. Second grade is my jam. Change second grade to third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, etc. So there's so many ways to sell in back to school. Also, if you're struggling to make good designs, Creative Fabrica has actually over 40,000 print-on-demand licensed graphics that you can use to build back-to-school designs that actually sell. I will link to Creative Fabrica in the description. You can join for like $4 a month. So no excuses not to have good designs. That's what I would say, because the bar is pretty high for back-to-school. Because there's so much money to be made, you got to make sure that you're able to compete with other designs. All right, niche number 4. How about fantasy football? And I just wanted to show you guys the projectable spikes in volume every month. Now, this is actually, I did a bad job kind of highlighting where it really picks up. It actually picks up a little bit later. So we are currently a little bit further down this kind of demand curve. But it's only going to pick up between now and August. Fantasy football is huge in the month of August. I think that's where it's most popular out of the whole year. You kind of do it before the NFL season kicks off. And, tens of millions of people do fantasy football every year. So it's a great niche to be in. It's a fun one. I love designing in this niche just because there's so many. I think most of them are just kind of funny. So I don't know. That always brings a smile to my face when it's something that I actually care about and it's humorous. So you got things like world's okayest fantasy football player, fantasy football legend, my fantasy football schedule, and then it has the 7-day schedule. A Joe Biden shirt says I'm drafting a kicker in the first round. Fantasy football champion. Every year these are really good too because you can put the year on it. So those are a great way to enter and kind of with a new design that can compete right away by putting something with the current year on it. So 2025. Commissioner, the league commissioner. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Was thinking about my fantasy football lineup. Fantasy football legend. You got the pink shirts that say I suck at fantasy football for last place. Okay, let's move on. Niche number 5 now. First week of August is International Clown Week. So again, we're a little bit starved for good niches coming out of 4th of July. It happens every year. The summer is a little bit of a lull, and then it picks back up as we head into August. But how about International Clown Week? I'm not going to have any bestsellers, but definitely projectable search volume here. A lot of fun designs, a lot of color. The first shirt I would probably make would just be what you see here, some rendition of this where you can just put a bow tie and a couple colored buttons and call it a clown outfit. You can also see there's one over here on the right-hand side as well. All right, emerging trends. These are all shirts that are outperforming their 90-day average. So if you ever traded stocks, you'd say, oh, this looks like it is on the upswing, kind of like what we do with Google Trends analysis as well. So all of these are potential breakouts. Looking ahead, these are smaller niches, at least a month out. August 6th, National Fresh Breath Day. August 7th, National Lighthouse Day. August 8th, International Cat Day. Weird, in the International Dog Month, right? August 9th, Book Lovers Day. August 10th, World Lion Day. All right, the archive, these were all selling well. Not 11 months ago, but actually 23 months ago. And I explained why I decided to do this last episode. Basically, if we look back 11 months, we get a lot of political stuff that's not relevant. So I went back to 2023 trends to see what was trending basically August 6th, 2023. Here are some removed designs. These were all removed in the last 24 hours. I actually did a video on alligator Alcatraz basically getting removed. I was told that somebody filed a trademark and then was reporting them, but it's also possible that maybe Amazon just changed their tune and didn't want them on Amazon anymore. That also can happen, guys. But if you're selling alligator Alcatraz, I would delete them from Amazon right away, just based on the trend that we saw over the last couple of days. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I have a full print-on-demand course. If you didn't know, I've been selling for over 8 years, multi-million-dollar seller, making 6-figure profits every year for the last 5 years. So if you want to check out my course, it'll walk you through step-by-step exactly how I run my business. So that is linked below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon with another new video.